Okay. Looking good. Okay. All right, we're back on Death Stranding. Here we go, people. I've not played since the first session, but it's just gonna be that kind of night. Is anybody ever gonna ask why this dude is wearing this mask? I mean, I don't dislike it,
Well,
but it's weird.
have you had a chance to think it over? Chock full of chiralium, but safe for you Dooms guys to wear. That's all you'll need to go forth and reconnect the world. To make us whole again.
This guy's like the president's advisor, and he's wearing this mask.
I don't care about connecting anything. Or making knots. But I'll do what I have to help Amelie out.
So anyway, I've been out of it the last couple days. Wednesday I went to the casino, and yesterday I was dog watching.
How'd it go? At the casino.
Oh, at the
Not
casino?
the-
No, I got smashed.
Amelie's people built in the
Sorry
towns
to hear
and
that.
cities they passed
Yeah,
through
I
on their
don't
journey
care.
west,
But
called knots. The
I got very
infrastructure
unlucky.
the
A lot of the
Chiron
times
was
I get smashed, and
Right now,
I
it's only
definitely can
capable
tell I
of
made
transmitting
mistakes.
voice communications.
But this time was just
Sometimes
like,
wired, sometimes wireless.
no, I'm just
and
getting
a small
fucked right
amount
now.
of data.
It happens. Yeah, so I caught up on I watched some movies
So,
because I had
unless the
nothing
necessary
else I
data
could do
stored
while
on
dog
site,
watching.
our chirograms won't show up.
So,
Amelie and the
I don't know if you read the news,
grams generated with local data.
but
In case you didn't know.
it turns
Anyway, all
out
you
that
gotta do is
Chauvin's
find
taking
enough,
the appeal
connect your
of his
people,
conviction
bring
I
Chiron
did
the
see
Supreme
that.
Court.
online.
Yes.
So,
Once you connect it to the
are you ready
terminal,
for the
you'll be able to
riots?
initiate zero-time massive
Like,
data transmission with the
Feels
use
like
of
it could
data.
happen.
And just like that,
It does, because the
reconnect
Supreme
us
Court has
with each other.
actually been
Let's hope
reasonable
fast.
for the first time in decades. Over the last several months, they've done a lot of incredibly based things, and aside from being based for the sake of being based, important thing is, like I said, they've actually been reasonable, actually looking and directly interpreting not just the law, but how things really ought to be, considering the way that the country was designed to operate. So, considering that the country was designed to operate in a way that a man would be convicted of murder because he was actually responsible for the murder and there was evidence tying him to the murder, and as soon as that autopsy report comes in that says broken neck, he died of a drug overdose, fentanyl-induced heart attack.
Won't be long before we're able to send all kinds of things through the wire.
There's literally nothing else that they could do other than be like, well, fuck. I mean, literally in the most literal sense you can conceive of, he's not responsible
Why we'll still need
for his death, so he shouldn't have been convicted of murder.
before and after we're made whole.
The most you can ding him for is that
No rest for the wicked. Huh?
because he was undergoing the drug-induced heart attack, dying of an overdose, his body thrashing and him panicking because he couldn't understand what was happening to him was very reminiscent of him resisting arrest, and the officer didn't know any better, so interpreting that as struggling, he just doubled down on trying to restrain him. Because, I mean, like, in the moment, are you going to know to give him medical attention? Like, who the fuck
Something we
would?
look into. My blood seemed to set those things off.
But
Happened more
Shit
you could
happens.
maybe
How do you mean?
maybe
I don't know.
bring
You
it
took
down
my blood, didn't you?
to something like
You tell me.
All right.
uh,
I'll see what I can do.
involuntary manslaughter, or a negligent homicide, or something like it's not murder.
It's gonna take years for this to get settled, though, isn't it?
More than likely. Unless the Supreme Court decides, you know what, we're hearing this right now. Which would be hilarious.
Of all the sidekicks in video game history, the unborn child is the maybe the most surprising one. The in vitro child.
Oh yeah, you're not even close to when this game actually starts to get retarded. So if you thought it was retarded up until this point, if you thought it's retarded now, oh my god, just you fucking wait.
Maybe.
It's gonna get a lot worse.
By the way, guys, how's the stream look?
It looks fine, I'm watching it right now. If I had to describe Death Stranding in 5 words, and I want you to keep these 5 words in mind every step of the way. And then it got worse. Because you're sitting there and you're playing this game and you're like, what the hell's going on? And then it got worse. And then you're like, dude, what the fuck is happening? This doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't even understand what the hell any of this shit is. And then it got worse. Are you seriously telling me the only thing I fucking do in this game is run around with a fucking shitload of boxes on my fucking back? And then it got worse. Why is she breastfeeding a ghost? And then it got worse. Oh god.
Just can't get over the name Dead Hardman. Like, that sounds like the name a 12-year-old would pick on AOL Instant Messenger. You know?
To be fair, English is not Kojima's first language.
Yeah, that can't be an excuse anymore.
It's not, that's the joke.
Sam, order summaries may contain information critical to your success. Make sure to review them before getting underway. Sam, we've supplied you with some rope and a ladder for this run. They should help with the steeper inclines, and the ladder will also make a halfway decent bridge if you need to cross a river. Right now, I figure you're thinking about how you want to handle this order.
How did he get to third base? Suarez looked him back. How the hell did he do that? Jesus Christ. Wait. Oh. Interesting.
Order assigned.
Beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey.
So last night I watched The Irishman, and today I watched Hacksaw Ridge, because I had nothing to do except watch movies.
Triple-checked your loadout, I take
Ooh.
it?
So I think all those games are pretty long, Santi. I could be wrong. That's quite a bit to get into. Yeah. Oh, I can pee. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. How do I do this?
You need to do it in front of people. They need to watch.
Okay, what button do I push to pee?
R2.
No, that's how you grab your pack.
Can't do it now.
Oh. Bring up the urination thing again.
Oh, I thought he was squatting down to pee.
No.
I was like, okay, if you want to do it like a woman, I guess I can't stop. Hold on. Yeah, here we go. Oh, L2 aim, R2 let loose. Okay.
So I was correct. Okay, so here's what you do. You can't do it inside the city. That's why you're having difficulty.
Okay.
It's not letting you do it. Once you get back out into the wilderness, you can pee on the grass. And then when you do, mushrooms will grow where you peed.
Can I eat
That's
the
the
mushrooms?
there's some sort of supply that's actually the purpose of urinating, is that you can collect the stuff. And what's really funny is that if a lot of players urinate in the same area, it actually grows like a large fucking resource node of the pea crystals or whatever. I don't fucking know.
Messages, warnings, words of encouragement, whatever comes to mind.
And it's on Steam, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I
Cool.
unzipped. Yes.
And now you can pee.
There we go. Oh, yeah.
And then you let all the monster energy out. All the kidney stones.
Oh, mushroom.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, the mushrooms, like I told you. Yeah. And you see how it has your name over it? That's what I meant, is that if a lot of players pee in the same area, they'll make a big thing of mushrooms. And it's a resource node. Death,
Okay.
Stranding, pea mushrooms.
But you're better than the best. Come across
Urinating outside will grow a mushroom at that location. Mushrooms are visible to all players in a similar fashion to structures and may be given likes. Should enough players urinate in the same spot, the size and cluster of mushrooms will increase. Eventually, the agglomeration of mushrooms will become a colony of cryptobiotes that will start to swarm around them and can be collected. Unlike cryptobiote hives, mushrooms allow a larger number of cryptobiotes to be collected. Urinating in the toilet in a private room will create an EX grenade number 1, which has a greater effect that will completely, albeit temporarily, disperse BTs. When Sam has been driven to exhaustion by reducing his stamina cap to 25% or less, will cause him to release blood in his urine and create an EX grenade number 1+, which combines the effect of Sam's urine with that of a hematic grenade. Gazer BTs caught in its effect will be sent back to the beach, nearby gazers will be repelled, and larger BTs will suffer damage. Like I said, when I told you earlier, you use poop and pee to fight evil demon things, and if you pee in one spot a lot, it will make the cryptobiote things.
So, does Kojima just have a thing for this stuff? Because this was in Metal Gear Solid 1 and 2 and 3. Because you've always got Johnny in all the Metal Gear games who always needs to take a shit, and that's like a plot point. And then you've got, in Metal Gear Solid 2, you can have the one bad guy pee on you when you're playing as Raiden, right? Like, this keeps happening. It's turning into like George R.R. Martin.
Well, like I was telling you earlier, when you have the lady that breastfeeds a ghost baby, and you transport her to the hot tub thing, you can pee in front of her, and if you do, she cries.
That's a reasonable reaction. Wow, there's a lot of just random cargo lying around. Alright. Fine, I'll play.
Urinating in the presence of BTs will repel them and prevent Sam from being dragged away. That's hilarious.
Good work, Sam.
Oh, I
You
see.
brought in
Some of that stuff
lost
is dropped by
cargo.
other players.
Feel free to submit it.
Yes.
If you come across any more while out, it'll be safe, and even if it has to pass, you can rest easy.
Hey. Right, it's like Reddit. Look at all these likes I got, guys. I'm cool.
Very much.
Your private locker can be...
Oxycontin. I'm delivering Oxycontin? What is this, Grand Theft Auto?
Yes.
Doing illegal shit now?
Anybody hear me?
Stupid mother.
Remember, Sam, every parcel is a promise made to a person in need. And they're counting on you to deliver.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I don't have anything that I can... Yeah. Can carry a lot of stuff. This guy is actually pretty fucking strong. Yeah, so my parents went to see Oppenheimer today, and they said it was good, so I'm going to try to see it next week, probably. Because it's not going to stay in the big theater for that long.
Sam, if you come up against a sheer cliff or a steep slope, don't forget about the ladder we issued you. Be sure to try it out. I'd be interested to see what use
That
a
should be
seasoned
fun.
pro like you might find for it. Sam, remember that prolonged exposure to timefall damages cargo containers. Don't stay out in the rain any longer than you have to.
Shit. It's raining. I need to get somewhere safe. No, I'm melting. I'm melting.
It's just your cargo that's melting, not you.
Eh, same difference. Why can't I pick up this fucking ladder? Okay, there we go. Okay. Is there like a cave around here somewhere I can hop into? Or should I just keep moving? Okay, oh, here we go. Yeah, I don't know if I showed you, Santi, but the good old Moist Critical actually posted his review of the new Insidious movie. He does not like it, and he typically likes movies like that, the shitty horror movies.
Yeah, you've definitely reached the point in gameplay of what I was telling you about, where you have to balance in order to move, because you just have too much shit on your back. You'll have even more shit on your back as time goes on. Like that's like upgrading in the gameplay is literally just to let you carry more equipment. As time goes on, you know, you'll even have shit attached to your legs and your arms, and not just on your back, because you're gonna need even more space to carry weapons and combat equipment.
You know, Santi, what is it with women liking shitty horror movies so much? Like, you wouldn't think that the typical girl would be like, oh, I gotta see that new fucking Insidious movie. Explain that to me. I don't get it.
I'm sure I could find an explanation for it if I wanted to think about it long enough. I just don't fucking care. All just basic.
Alright, let's see if we fall off and die here. And Santi, that sounds almost like forbidden knowledge to me. I don't know.
Well, that's one way to consider it, is that women are attracted to violence.
Skin on my teeth.
Like that thing I said before about how Helena Troy was probably really happy about what she did.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about that the other day because I was watching some of Troy. Let me tell you, the scene where like the battle really begins for the first time, because it was like a 10-year-long siege. It's like the first major engagement they have under the walls. After they have, you know, the little duel and everything, and then Agamemnon says, "Oh yeah, let's go. They violated the terms of the duel." Blah blah blah. When they're having the big fight and everything, you've got like all the nobility is watching and shit, and they're constantly showing the faces of the ladies. And initially I thought in my head, I'm all like, oh, that is just such Hollywood nonsense. There's no way this kind of fucking thing actually happened. And then I started thinking about it, I'm like, actually, you know what? That probably is exactly what happened. There's probably absolutely what fucking happened. Because, like, at the very least, Helen of Troy, there's no question she would have loved to have watched the battle.
Oh shit, look.
And realizing...
I'm overloaded. Yeah. Look at it. Let's go. Look at me.
Yeah. And realizing that, like, every man who dies, every man that drops, is like... Oh my god, this is so amazing. He's dead because of me. They're fighting and dying for me. Like, they just lost her fucking mind. Dwight Howard is being sued by a man who alleges he was forced into a threesome with the ex-NBA star. The only way you could be forced into a threesome with Dwight Howard is if there was also... is if it was a threesome with 3 guys.
Now we're just barely under the weight limit.
Jesus Christ. Sandy, do you have an article that doesn't have like 10,000 fucking things pop up when I try to read this shit? Fucking A. A man named LeBron James has sued the former Lakers star Dwight Howard for assault, battery, intentional infliction of emotional distress, and false imprisonment. James, who apparently started exchanging messages with Howard on Instagram, claims the incident occurred at the ex-NBA player's home in Georgia on July 19th in 2021. According to court documents, after months of exchanging explicit messages, Howard invited James to his home to have a sexual encounter.
It's very consensual to me.
Holy shit! I was just fucking memeing, like, saying LeBron's name instead of this one guy, but I was actually completely correct, even though I was fucking joking, not about LeBron, but about this part. According to court documents, after months of exchanging explicit messages, Howard invited Harper to his home to have a sexual encounter. Harper claims he and Howard were later joined at the house by another man. I wasn't even fucking kidding. Holy shit. I was right and I didn't even intend to be. But look at that shit, dude. Fucking, this guy's suing Dwight because... Wow. That is hilarious. He's suing Dwight because he's all like, I thought we were going to have a three-way where we were going to double team abroad. Instead, a dude showed up and they double teamed me. Like, holy fuck, dude, that's amazing.
So, if you're Dwight Howard, how do you play this? Like, do you just admit, yeah, I wanted to fuck another dude?
I wanted to fuck two dudes at once.
Or do you deny the whole? Do you try to deny the whole thing and just hope to God you can?
Clear. Cargo verified. Thank you.
Oh my God, dude, I can barely walk. Look at me. This is amazing.
I'm not even kidding when I say this. Congratulations, Joker. You become a master at Death Stranding. That's the most difficult part of the game. Well, I mean, okay, some of the combat against the boss monsters is pretty tough, but, who the fuck cares?
Delivering cargo.
Alright, now I gotta figure out where to deliver this heavy crap.
Thank you. We've all been feeling the loss of Central Knot City. No one seemed to know what it meant for the organization. Or the UCA. Or us. The oxytocin will take the edge off, and that'll be a big help. Won't be long before we're back on track.
Isn't Oxycontin just like painkillers and stuff? I know a guy who used to be addicted to Oxycontin.
Yes.
This is great.
It's narcotic.
Yeah, everything looks to be in good order. And soon our way station will be too, I hope.
Oh, no damage. Unless it's saying I returned the cargo with 0%, in which case I did full damage, which would be hilarious, but I imagine that's not what it's trying to say.
So this is pretty funny. If you try to search for Oxycontin, Google doesn't let you. It keeps trying to talk about oxytocin, which is not what you're talking about. That's a drug that is used... a hormone released by the pituitary gland that causes increased contraction of the uterus during labor and stimulates the ejection of milk into the ducts of the breasts. It can also be used to induce abortion. It's because Oxycontin, like you said, Oxycontin is the fucking drug, and Google doesn't want you to search for that, so
Avoid out.
constantly have to fucking fight with these cocksuckers over this shit. But anyway, moral of the story, Oxycontin is used to treat moderate to severe pain. The extended release form of this medication is for around-the-clock treatment of pain. Oxycontin is not for treating pain just after surgery unless you were already taking it before the surgery. Oxycontin is a narcotic pain reliever. It works by dulling the pain perception center in the brain. It may also affect other body systems at higher doses, like the respiratory and circulatory systems. It's a very, very, very powerful painkiller. That's why it's in such high demand. And also is... Wow, I just read what Sandy said. The suit said Howard contacted Harper on July 19th, 2021 to tell him he was thinking about that meat.
Oh boy. He'd be the first active gay player in the NBA, right? Because Jason Collins never played again after he came out of the closet.
Yes, that's correct. Assuming that any of this shit is actually true. But here's the problem with thinking that it's true. This is obviously extremely embarrassing because it's extremely hilarious and everyone's making fun of him and all this shit, you know, very amusing. But that's kind of what you want to do if you're trying to get a settlement, is you're all like, oh yeah, well what if I make this shit public? If you don't just settle with me to make this go away, then everyone's gonna know, and you know, blah blah blah. Like, it's fucking blackmail that you're just making shit up. And the reason that I say that is because if you read the guy's suit, Dwight and a car part raped him. You go to the police. You don't sue him.
A lot of people happy to see you. Guess you'll keep on until you hit the coast. Huh?
You know, because that's what happened in the fucking, do you remember Kobe's case in Colorado? There was the criminal case first, and it was dismissed due to lack of evidence.
Well, anyway,
Then there was the civil suit, and he settled with her.
there's some bad people out there. More than good, some say.
O.J. Simpson case, there was the fucking murder trial first,
Thank you.
then the civil suit for wrongful death with Ron Goldman's family, and they won.
In direct contact with those of us back here in Capital Knot City.
Like,
Right.
Dwight's never been arrested or had a talking to or anything about any of this shit. The police would have to get involved in this case because if you read what he's saying, it's all like he is alleging that Dwight Howard raped him.
Crater lake that formed after the first void out.
That's not something you sue someone over. That's something you contact the police over. Like, who the fuck sued Harvey Weinstein?
They'll be essential for establishing a stable connection.
Who the fuck sued Bill Cosby? They went to the police. Now, Cosby didn't do it, but Weinstein certainly did.
As to which you should head for first. Start with the distro center. We've got some cargo that needs delivering anyway. Check the nearby delivery.
So yeah, I'm as funny as this is. I'm not gonna believe.
New order available. Your hard work's paying off, Sam. Thanks to the increase in network capacity, HQ is now in a position to provide you with additional materials and support. Should prove useful.
Okay, so this is all just lost cargo that you can drop off at any... Okay, makes sense. And at least that makes it relatively easy when you get a full pack.
Oh no, Sandy, I completely agree. This is hilarious. My fingers are crossed. I hope it's true, because this is hysterical. But I ain't buying it, because if it was true, he'd have gone to the cops. Like, because you see all this shit that he's coming out with for the trial, what he's coming out with is evidence. And it's all like, if this evidence had anything to it, you'd go to the fucking cops. The reason he's trying to do a civil suit is because, number one, it's a cash grab, and number two, in a civil suit, you only need a majority from the jury. You don't need a unanimous verdict.
Right. Makes sense to me.
This is all just Exactly. This is all just leveraging cash grab bullshit. He's hoping that Dwight settles out of embarrassment.
Oh, are you sucking my cock right now?
Sam, you can use share. Sam, you could use that PCC to build a post box.
Okay. Hey, Julio works himself a walk.
Order assigned.
Okay, I still got plenty of room on my pack.
To build a post box, you'll need to use a PCC. It goes without saying, but if you're not already carrying a PCC, you'll want to fabricate one.
Order assigned.
Sam, assuming you've got your PCC in order, head to the site I designated and build that post.
Okay. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. Here we go.
Box, would you? You should have no trouble finding it if you check your map and compass from time to time.
Okay, that's not that far away at all.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
Any weapons? Oh my god. God, I can't believe I might actually do this without falling over. Hell, honestly, I probably should have died doing that IRL. Very nice. Juarez, you could have just let yourself get hit by that. Alright, bugs. Wait, what? Yeah, you gotta be sucking my... God damn it. Fuck.
Oh yeah, you definitely gotta watch out for the fucking stamina meter thing when you're in the water.
Yeah.
That's a real easy way to fucking fall over, and when you do in the water, then all your shit goes everywhere.
Fucking rain. Can you build an umbrella at some point so the rain doesn't fuck you?
Kind of. Yes.
You've arrived at the designated site. Good. When you're ready to proceed, activate your PCC.
Give me a minute, I'll explain.
Use it to build a post box within the area I specified.
Okay. No problemo whatsoever.
Good work, Sam. That's a fine looking post box.
So,
You can share cargo and
as you keep playing the game and you unlock more and more equipment, because as you play the game, obviously, you get more equipment that makes the game easier for you, more things that you can build.
they'll do right by you.
One of the things that you can build, and it exists in the wild sometimes also, that other players have built, is a timefall shelter. Which literally is, it's not an umbrella that you can carry with you, but it's a gigantic tent that you can hide under to protect yourself. And there's an equipment type that you get access to soon, also, which repairs your cargo. So you could use that if Timefall has damaged it. And then there's also a kind that is like a Timefall resistant spray or something, I think. So you'd hide under the umbrella and you'd spritz yourself with both of those to repair your shit and then protect it from Timefall. Then like craft a motorcycle or something and then just haul ass out of the danger zone.
Okay, Brain, come on, fuck off. I'm in the middle of an open field. There's nothing I can do right now. So just be a good sport and go away. Dude, who the hell is this guy who's pitching for us right now? It's a one-run game, and we're using some bullpen pitcher I've never heard of. What the... I'm getting heated right now. What the fuck is going on? And of course, he can't throw a strike to save his fucking life right now.
Keep it together.
Yeah. So anyway, Snacks, yeah, I was talking with Santi about this the other night. It kind of feels like maybe, you know, apparently, by the way, I don't know if you've even heard of this one, but Blue Beetle, which is a superhero movie that's coming out later, like next month or something, is expected to bomb very badly, as in like 50 million total box office pull is possible. So it seems like cinema's kind of starting to make a comeback here, because there's some interesting stuff coming up here.
Yes, Cape Shit's dying. I saw that you're discussing because Razor Fist was doing the fucking touchdown dance. He was like, man, it takes a lot of balls for the people who made this Blue Beetle movie, because they spent a shitload of money making it, and then they released it exactly the worst possible time because people don't want Cape Shit anymore.
Delivering cargo.
Like, but we've got some stuff that's actually like the thing I showed you the other night, the Killers of the Flower Moon thing. I think that actually looks really good. I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, I am too. I'm just a little upset with movies right now, because are there any Venture Bros fans in the chat? Sound off if you're a Venture Bros fan in the chat.
It's a show with Dr. Orpheus, right?
Yes.
Okay. I'm familiar with it. Alright, my Porter grade just went up. Miscellaneous grade 10. Let's go. I'm like the Newman of Death Stranding. Actually, no, I'm like that episode where Seinfeld took over as the mailman instead of Newman and was too good at his job, so they had to fire him.
All right then. Thanks for everything.
Good work.
Name's Sam.
And of course, there's the Napoleon thing, which I think is probably going to focus more on being entertaining than telling the full-on. But there's nothing wrong with that. I think it'll be more like Gladiator than, I don't know, Oppenheimer, for example.
Okay, so I don't think anyone in the chat is a
Yeah,
Venture Brothers fan.
doesn't seem like
So, that being the case, I'll just say really quick. They released the movie today. Radiant is the blood of the baboon heart. And this is the finale to the Venture Brothers because the show was canceled when it was supposed to have the final season 8. Was supposed to be the final season. And the Venture Bros have at least 10 episodes in a season, so they would have had the ability to, 10 hour-long episodes. They would have had 10 hours to tell the stories that they wanted to tell to wrap things up. Instead, they were given 83 minutes by Warner Brothers for this movie. So they popped out the best hunk of shit that they could, but they left a lot of shit untouched, and then they just had to discuss things that they had in mind on the commentary track afterwards.
right.
So I'm just disappointed because the show has been in the makings for 20 years. Like, I watched this fucking show for the first time when I was in middle school. I'm 32. And finally it came out, and it wasn't a bad movie, but because it was rushed, and then they just had to, like... It's the same as the ending to Half-Life 2 Episode 3. Where Mark Laidlaw released the thing because he's like, the game's never going to get made, so here, let me just release a fucking text where we talk about the script we had in mind. And then it's like, dude, this is so much worse. Like, you want to feel the closure for it, but you're just like, fuck, man. You just feel so bad.
Yeah.
I feel terrible.
What the shit's going on?
Heads up, Sam.
Oh shit.
The cargo's been pinged.
Uh-oh.
Move. Now.
Okay, I gotta get out of here.
Get to your destination ASAP if you don't want to get caught.
So you saw this movie already? It's like on stream. I mean, it didn't get a theater release or something?
What you looking for?
No, it's not a theater release. It's available right now on digital. It'll be on HBO Max in October. I'm having to read about what's on the producer commentary track thing because that only comes with a special edition of the physical copy, which currently has like a 4-month-long waiting list. So, but you could get the digital copy on Amazon like right now. But I've been reading the subreddit all day, and I'm just like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, so disappointing.
It's really hard to effectively end a long-running series, I think. It's just very hard to pull it off.
Well, that's the thing, is that with everything that they were talking about, they'd have been able to, because they had a set idea in mind. They just got...
Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, shit. Another person. I thought I was the last man on Earth for a second there.
No, I told you, that you do occasionally get into combat with other people. They're like bandits.
Sorry, go ahead. Anyway. So they had a plan.
And yeah, they had from reading about it that last season would have been amazing. But they had to try to hit all the most important major beats, but like they left a lot of shit out because again, each episode is an hour long. It's supposed to be a 10-episode season. That is 10 hours of content. We didn't even get an hour and a half, 83-minute runtime.
Yeah, that's tough, man.
Compare that to a 600-minute runtime. Like, that's, what, that's 10 hours in minutes, right? Not fucking, yeah, 600 minutes. That is the equivalent to roughly 14% of what the season actually would have been. So yeah, it just sucks having to read about most of what we waited so long for 20 fucking years. But I mean, hey, at least we got any closure at all. That's more than we'll get from fucking George Martin.
Like I said, man, I think he's going to release the next book, but he'll never release the final book. It's just going to be...
Anybody hear me?
Maybe he'll even try to cram both books into one book and just be like, okay, I'm done now. Oh.
That right there is a warning sign. What that means is BTs, which are the demon ghost things.
Right. Ooh. Maybe I can get some cover in here.
Good morning, Sam.
You prayed for dry weather at the sign of the sun. I did no such thing. Alright, let's rest.
That's what interacting with that emote does.
So, I was talking with Santi about this the other day as well. If you had to pick one actor or actress and you could only watch movies that actor was in, only those movies for the rest of your life, who are you picking?
Did you ask the question again?
If you had to pick one actor and you could only watch movies that they appeared in for the rest of your life, which one would you pick?
I think the smart thing to do would be to pick someone who's been in a lot of shit so that you have a wide array of things.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd be picking somebody like Christopher Lee or Samuel L. Jackson who's been in a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
So because of that and because of the kind of movies that I like, I would go with Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'll tell you, I looked this up. The actor who has appeared in the most movies, it's actually by far, he's almost double the second place guy, is Eric Roberts, who played the mob boss in The Dark Knight. Now, a lot of the movies he was in are small, they're indie, they're not particularly amazing, but it's like 450 films that he's been in.
Way to go for him.
Yeah. So, I was thinking about this. And then Santi suggested, what about a porn star? What if you picked a porn star? And then he was like, well, which porn star has been in the most porn movies? And apparently Riley Reid, over a 12-year span, appeared in 1,400 porn movies.
And that's why I said the last time we were talking about this kind of thing, because you said something like you wouldn't even recognize her, or maybe that it was Moogie who wouldn't recognize her. Somebody said they wouldn't recognize her, and I'm all like, you might not know who she is by just using the name, but you probably would be able to be like, oh yeah, her, because she's just been in so much shit.
Mm-hmm.
And Riley Reid especially makes a lot of appearances in porn-related memes. For instance, that one meme of "Oh fuck, you're gonna make me come," which usually is edited to something like "Oh fuck, you're gonna make me dumb," and then the meme is when you watch CNN or something like that. That was her.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So.
math, and that's like one porn movie. She appears in one porn movie every like 3 fucking days, or some. It was some ridiculous. And I was like, how is that even possible? Like, how do you do that without ending up completely Frenchified?
She actually has a husband. That poor man.
Yeah.
I can only imagine what his life is like every day.
Like, she is getting close to reverse Wilt Chamberlain. She's probably getting literally close to 20,000.
Oh, man. I thought you meant like Tim Duncan, who said he was once friends with 10,000 women.
So, if you get Arnold, you're getting both Terminator movies, you're getting Predator, you're getting True Lies, you're getting Twins. You're actually getting every Terminator movie, technically.
Yeah, there's a lot of overlap because Arnold's been in so many action movies and so many action comedies. It gives you the opportunity to experience a lot of different other people too, and he's got a great fucking filmography. You know, so it's definitely something that like I'm not upset about it at all, and
always like the quiet. Well, enjoy it, at least while it lasts.
Yeah,
the point is, you know, you'd have to pick somebody who is in a genre that you like, who's in a lot of stuff, so that you're not upset and not feeling like you're missing out. You know, so among action movies, you know, you'd have to be picking somebody like Arnold Schwarzenegger, like Sylvester Stallone, who's just been in a shitload of stuff, so that you'd have a wide library you could choose from. Another guy you could pick, I'm trying to remember his name. Hold on.
I asked Moogle this, and he said DiCaprio. And I was like, you know, that's not bad, but I don't think you're going to have very much fun.
No, you're not.
It's going to be too serious all the time. I don't think you're going to have very much just fun.
Yeah. Robert De Niro's another guy who's been in a ton of stuff and also has a wide array there because Robert De Niro, of course, he's been in a lot of really excellent movies, a lot of excellent dramas, you know, a lot of Oscar bait kind of stuff. But he's also been in a lot of schlock, too. There was this one boxing movie he was in. I think Sylvester Stallone was in that one, too. They were both playing way over-the-hill boxers who just, I think it was called Grudge Match, actually.
That sounds familiar.
It was a movie in 2013, starred Kevin Hart, Sylvester Stallone, Robert De Niro, Kim Basinger.
Yeah, I think I saw commercials for that.
The film stars Sylvester Stallone and Robert De Niro as aging boxers going into the ring for one last fight. Stallone and De Niro both previously been successful. It's the rubber match between one of the most storied rivalries in boxing during their fucking shit. So even though they're both in their 60s, you know, no one cares because they're just like, we just want to see this happen again. And De Niro wasn't that. So, you know, Michael Caine's another good example. Michael Caine's been in a lot of extremely excellent movies, and he's also been in a lot of schlock. You know, so... And it has a wide array of things. You know, he also has plenty of movies where he plays bit parts, where you get the opportunity to watch something that's not really a Michael Caine movie. For instance, Interstellar.
Yeah.
That's what you want to go for. Using your pick on somebody like Leo is a waste. So, one of the biggest wastes I could think of would be Daniel Day-Lewis, because even though he intentionally chooses very few movies to actually be in because he wants to be like, I want every role I have to be a potential Oscar winner. He's hardly been in anything in his entire career. You'd have so few movies to actually watch.
Right. Yeah, I was thinking for a little bit that Joe Pesci would be an underrated pick, but then I looked at it and I realized he basically stopped acting after the early 90s. Like he
Yeah, I
was,
think after he won that Oscar
Mhm.
and had the best Oscar acceptance speech ever, that's when everything. This is one I wanted to bring up. Peter Weller, the guy that played RoboCop.
Oh, okay.
He's also in a lot of stuff, and a very wide array of kinds of stuff. Because, you know, he played RoboCop, and then he also played the antagonist in Star Trek Into Darkness. Well, the other antagonist, not Khan, but the evil admiral guy. He did the voice of Batman in the animated version of The Dark Knight Returns, which was fucking amazing. So you get the opportunity to enjoy that. On TV, he had a number of bit parts that he's been in all sorts of different series. However, it gives you the opportunity to, because he was in the show, you now get to watch the show. For instance, he had a very extremely minor role where he appeared in like 2 episodes in Sons of Anarchy, but that then gives you the opportunity to watch the whole fucking show because, hey, Peter Weller's in it. He was in Monk for 1 episode cameo. He was in 24 for 11 episodes, very minor role. He had an appearance in Star Trek Enterprise on 1 episode. 2 episodes. Oh yeah, I remember his character. It was actually pretty good. So, you know, that gives you the opportunity to watch Star Trek Enterprise, Monk, 24, Sons of Anarchy, House. He had 1 episode he appeared on also as director. So yeah, it really gives you the opportunity to fucking sidestep a lot of shit like that. And Mark Hamill would there and be the same. Because even though obviously his most famous movie role is as Luke Skywalker. Oh, that thing that you're going through right now that's just going on, where you're the bodies and stuff. If you actually went tinkle in there, they'd stop trying to grab you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I think my bladder's empty, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, but that's when you use pee as a weapon.
Yeah, Peter Weller, I would not have fingered that one, but that's actually pretty good now that you spell it out.
Yeah, and like I was saying, Mark Hamill's another good one. Let me see here. Good lord, can't you just have a fucking article where it goes over his shit? Fucking A. Fine. We'll just look at his IMDb. It'll be a lot easier. Oh, yeah. Mark Hamill's been in a ton of stuff. A ton of stuff. So because of his appearances that he's been in a ton of stuff, you have the opportunity to jump in and say you got all these other things that you could watch. He, very early in his career, when he just started as an actor, he was in 1 episode of The Cosby Show. He was in 1 episode of The Partridge Family. He was in 3 episodes with some bit minor work in the original run of Scooby-Doo when Casey Kasem was doing the voices.
Really?
In 1973. He was in 1 episode of 8 is Enough. Of course, played Luke Skywalker, so you get the opportunity to watch episode 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. He had a bit role in the war movie The Big Red One, which I think had Lee Marvin in it. Yes, it did. Lee Marvin.
The name of a Call of Duty game, Big Red One? Yeah, it was. I have that game.
Yes, it's because the U.S. Army 1st Infantry Division is known as the Big Red One because they use a large number 1 that is colored red as their unit patch.
Come on, let's get this show on the road.
So yeah, he had a very minor role, practically an extra, but yeah, you get to watch that movie.
It triggers the production of harmful compounds, and the body, in essence, begins to attack itself. It's called autotoxemia.
Then of course you get all the different
Drop by your private room and
voice
see if
acting
it's
work that he's
else.
done, where he was, of course, famously voiced the Joker in Batman the Animated Series, and anything therein, Batman the Animated Series, Justice League, that kind of stuff. So you get to watch that. He had a voice in one episode. He had a role in Ren and Stimpy, so you get to watch Ren and Stimpy. He was in one episode of The Outer Limits, so you get to watch that. He was in one episode of The Tick, so you get to watch that. He was in one episode of Hey Arnold, so you get to watch that.
Arnold, huh?
He was in one episode of Pinky and the Brain, so you get to watch that. And for a lot of these, he gets to play himself, which is hilarious because it still gives you the opportunity to watch it.
He was in The Simpsons, but everyone's in The Simpsons actually. Now that I think about it.
Exactly. He did a minor character in the Incredible Hulk TV show. He voiced the Hobgoblin and Spider-Man the Animated Series, which is great because then you get to watch that, which was fucking amazing. He did one episode of MIB, the animated series, so you get to watch that. He was in one episode of the David Spade sitcom Just Shoot Me, so you get to watch that.
Oh, I remember that show.
Buzz Lightyear Star Command, which is the best Buzz Lightyear related anything. So
Good show.
he get to watch that. He was in Pepper Ann, and the reason I'm bringing that up is because every time I see Pepper Ann, I always think of the fucking Come Town bit they did about that with Anthony Leano, and all that shit, which is good. He did a voice in Dexter's Lab, so you get to watch that. He was in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, so you get to watch that. He was in one episode of Samurai Jack, you get to watch that. He was in one episode of Static Shock, you get to watch that, where, of course, he played the Joker. What are you going to do? Of course, he voiced the Fire Lord in Avatar: The Last Airbender, so you get to watch that. He actually has a massive filmography. Like, I'm not even halfway through his fucking filmography. I don't even want to go through the rest of it. The point is, Mark Hamill's been in a ton of shit.
He must work cheap, man. He must work real cheap.
Well, yeah, it's because voice acting work doesn't pay out all that well. It does now, but it took years to get to that point. So, yeah. That, and he has a very old school mentality when it comes to working in show business that guys like Christopher Lee had, which is you never know when your next role is actually going to come along. You don't want to just constantly make callbacks to the popular shit you did that was really good. So, you got to keep trying and put yourself in as much shit as you can. I get it. I completely understand it and respect the hustle.
Mm-hmm.
What you got to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I kind of feel like Sam Jackson's the pick. Because he just wants to be in as much stuff as possible. Like, when the Star Wars prequels were getting made, he, I think, said, like, "Al, put me in as a stormtrooper. I don't care. I just want to be in those movies."
Yeah. Yeah, another good pick that I would pick, not because he has a wide array of things, but because I've never seen the movie he's been in that I haven't enjoyed, Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah, that's good.
I love him.
I mean, do you enjoy Batman Forever?
Yeah, like I said, I literally do not enjoy any movie that he's been in.
Yeah, I actually don't, that's not too bad. JS, it is a chill game. I don't know how to feel about it. I have conflicting. There are conflicting elements at play here. Like so far, like all I've done is walk. Like I got attacked once, and it was really easy to avoid. I just kept walking until they gave up on attacking me. So I don't know. It's hard for me to say yet. I'm not going to say too much yet, but it is a chill game. I guess that's one way to put it.
Okay, it's time. Do you mind connecting us to the network?
So, Santi asked me who would
Wow.
be the worst actor for this kind of thing, and I said probably Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah, you're right. It would be someone who's been in very few things, and the things that they've been in have been awful. But I feel like that's almost cheating. What I would want to say is, bring up, like I said, Daniel Day-Lewis.
At least
Where
you're
you're
watching
like,
good
yeah.
movies, though.
Which is true, but you only got like 5. What? You just watch 5 movies for the rest of your life.
Like, if you get Shaq, you're getting Scary Movie 4, Steel, Kazam, Grown Ups 2. Like the best movie, the only decent movie you're getting is Blue Chips. Everything
The
else is
only
like
decent
historically
movie you're
bad.
getting is Kazam, which is worth it.
Sam.
I don't think any other movie has ever used Walk the Dinosaur as its fucking theme song in the trailer. Oh, so this is interesting. The number of Americans who say they were rejected for a loan reaches the highest rate in 5 years. So we're all concerned about all these banks failing and how we're going to inevitably end up having to bail out the banks yet again in a couple of years here. They're not even fucking contributing to the economy. They're not even loaning money to people.
And with those materials,
This is with interest rates being extremely high at the same time, too. So it's not like they don't stand to make a hell of a lot of money by loaning money out. Those interest payments would be fucking nice. They could make a lot of money right now. This is the kind of time period where they want to be handing out loans like candy, and it's actually the least amount of loans that they're handing out in 5 fucking years.
and connected to the incubator.
So just to put that into perspective, 5 years ago was 2018, so they're handing out less loans now than they were during COVID. It's just retarded.
Alright, where do I take my baby? Where do I take my defective baby?
Looks like you can access the
Scarecrow Bar, Jack Nicholson, like, he's been in, like, what, 2 good movies since in the last 25 years? I mean, not that there's anything wrong with old movies, but you're not exactly getting great stuff
Okay, Sam. Remove the pod and connect it to that incubator.
from the recent era. Like, As Good as It Gets and The Departed, that's, like, all he did of note in the last 25 years. And not that this matters, I don't think Jack Nicholson did a very good job in The Departed.
A temporary excess of stress. easily addressed if we return it to its mother's womb.
Mother?
Located in the capital Knot City ICU.
I think that's because The Departed's not really about Jack's character. And when you think about it, Jack doesn't really flourish unless he's like the focus. You know?
I think he probably has the worst performance of the main actors in that film. Like, I think everyone else does better.
What about Matt Damon's black sidekick guy?
Oh yeah, the guy who gets... Well, actually, everyone in that movie dies, so that's not even a...
That's correct.
We can only maintain this deception.
Except for, what's his name?
Mark Wahlberg.
No, I was going to say, Leo's cousin.
Oh yeah.
Because if you never see him again after the first 15 minutes, he just fucking goes about his business.
Based on the latest data.
Ultimo hombre.
Returning your BB to the womb in this manner will temporarily reduce its stress levels. That being where it technically belongs, of course.
Kid looks happy.
I'll try adjusting the oxytocin dosage. Autotoxemia should set in much slower from now on.
Never seen Internal Affairs, JS. I've heard it's good. I've never seen it.
You should remember that BBs are just equipment. Try not to get attached. Each one has been physically removed from its steel mother's womb. A process that renders them unpredictable.
I mean, yeah, Santi, that's definitely not me, though. I would definitely not get much out of a Jackie Chan filmography, I don't think.
For over a year. It may need to be retired before this expedition is over.
And then?
I don't think he won Big Country.
Saying there's no way to keep my BB alive?
You must understand, there is still a great deal we don't know about BBs. As we expand the chiral network and recover more past data, perhaps we'll find our answers. Oh, right. You asked me to look into why the BTs might be reacting to your blood. I spoke with Hartman. We should have your results soon. Anyway, get some rest. You and your BB are both exhausted. Good night, Sam.
At the end of Bruce Willis's career, he was appearing in as many movies as he could. I think he was in 8 in 1 year. I think because he knew it was just about over for him. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like any of them are good. I was going to say he would not be a bad pick, but I don't think there's enough.
He's been in a lot of really bad movies.
Yeah.
His good to bad ratio is awful.
London Bridge is falling down.
That's pretty true too.
London Bridge is falling.
I'm reading this article. It's talking about what I was saying. Number of Americans who say they were rejected for a loan reaches highest rate in 5 years. People are discussing it, and they're like, it's what the banks are doing right now is they've accrued capital and they're saving it. The reason for that being, obviously, the big investment of the future is real estate. They want to buy up houses. Banks want to own houses because they can either sell it or keep it themselves, and if they sell it, they'll sell it to a fucking hedge fund financial firm. What they end up doing is, instead of allowing people to buy a house and be a homeowner, what they do is they just permanently rent the shit out so that they can eternally make money off of owning that land. And it's because there's a finite amount of housing available because you can't create more land. So
But humans aren't made for living.
the reason banks aren't handing out loans right now is because they want to hoard as much of their capital as they can so that when the economy completely goes to shit and they receive all their bailouts, they can use that to buy up a bunch of houses that get foreclosed on.
It's like Bridget said.
Makes sense.
And I'm sitting here like, Do you want the guillotines to come back? Because this is how you make the guillotines come back. Like, if you thought the George Floyd riots were bad, wait until you see the bread riots. Holy shit. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get some beer.
I'll be waiting, Sam.
Come on, go, 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 go.
Waiting
Aww.
for you. Come and find me.
Alright, let's get a wild pitch for the win here. How about that? Butter my biscuit.
Hello, Sam. This is Hartman. Since you're awake, it might behoove you to freshen up. To that end, why not take a shower? It's good for the body and soul, and also my research as it happens.
Alright, you always shit before you shower. That's just common sense, right? Oh, come on. Come on. Yes! Alright. I missed him pooping because Teoscar just walked it off on the Blue Jays. Alright, let's take a pee, though. Beer intake? I can drink beer in this game? Alright.
Sam, this is Hartman. Deadman relayed your request to me, and I oversee BT research. I'll be taking a sample of your shower water in order to study the effects your bodily fluids might have on the BT.
Oh god, he's taking my bath water.
Study other people with Bill?
Now, don't forget what I told you. When Norman Reedus is showering, according to Kanan and game mechanics, he poops in the shower.
I mean, who doesn't do that?
See? Look at all that poop. He's gonna waffle stomp it down that fucking drain.
Waste products. Try relic. Dispensing. There. Take the sample with you. Should the opportunity arise, try using it on a BT.
Is there like a mini game at some point in this game where you have to like whack off so they can get your semen?
Who knows?
No.
May even prove beneficial to
You only use poop and
There
pee.
was an old research
That's
paper
disappointing.
detailing the effects of bodily
Maybe in the
fluids from
sequel.
individuals like us.
It's also disgusting.
It is only by recovering these materials that we can unearth the knowledge of the past. Not just the Death Stranding, but also the mystery of your body's unique properties and even our doom's affliction. There may well be hope.
Anyway,
for
someone in the
humanity.
chat asked you a question while you were
Sam,
on snacks.
I have no interest
see
in
here.
rebuilding America. I want to recover the past. Oh, it's almost time.
After you make your connections and nothing happens, then what? I said,
Where?
then what?
Oh, see.
It's the last two things that JS sent. They were in. It's.
Oh. I didn't know that was directed at me. Does a country step in eventually and outlaw bank and real estate corporations buying up plots? Well, the answer is no, because you're expecting the government to do that. But the government is only going to do something that is in their own best interests. And what's in their best interest is that these banks continue to give them a shitload of money. You know, there's a reason they got the bailout the first time. Is because when they get the bailout, the understanding is, okay, and now you donate this to my private foundation so that I get a lot of this crooked money too. And, you know, on and on, the incestuous fucking corruption cycle continues. That's all that matters. So, Will the government do anything? The answer is no.
Such as the previous expedition's logs and reports. Everything they sent back was lost when Central Knot City was destroyed. And we've managed to restore some already, in fact. You can access them from a private room terminal or your cufflinks by selecting Archives. Might make for interesting reading.
Alright, let's chug some of these Bridges energy drinks. I'm gonna chug every last one of these mofos. So when I go out later, I have a full bladder.
What? Aren't they monsters?
I think that was only on PlayStation.
Death Stranding, Monster, Energy, Move. Why Death Stranding's director's cut remove Monster Energy drinks? Let's see here. They've all been removed. The most likely reason for Monster Energy drinks being removed from Death Stranding's director's cut is that the licensing agreement simply expired. Rather than renewing them or finding another brand to replace it with, the game developers likely opted to create an in-universe counterpart to the drinks instead. As no official comments were made on the drink's absence from the trailer, it remains to be seen if Kojima or the studio will comment on it at all. Additionally, it's currently unclear whether Death Stranding's other brand partnerships are still present in the game or not. It could be that all product placement was removed entirely from the director's cut, perhaps in an effort to make a more immersive experience. I mean, I swear to God, dude, that fucking those used to be cans of Monster Energy that were highly detailed and modeled so closely to reality that they even had like the fucking nutrition facts on the goddamn thing.
Tired, huh?
You could read it.
Yeah. Well, I believe this game bombed, so I'm not shocked that Monster wouldn't really want to pursue this partnership anymore.
Yeah, probably hurt him. I'll check. Perception.
Sam, we've received a distress call from the distro center staff. Check the order on the delivery terminal as soon as you're ready.
Wait, what? I don't see any order. I don't see no order. Okay, I think I know what I want to do.
This isn't what we agreed on. You said you'd do everything in your power to...
I tell you it's
in the mask who's done nothing but lie to me.
Sam, out of curiosity, how's it doing at the moment?
Before I answer that,
Something wrong?
when I hook up my BB, I see things.
What kind of things?
Like a face, someone I don't know, calling to me. There's this room, too, with other people talking, but I can't make out the words.
Lead-through effect. Didn't I warn you about this? You're mistaking the BB's memories for your own. They're false flashbacks, nothing more. Let me explain. A BB is harvested from its steel mother at around 28 weeks and placed in a pod. To be clear, this is before it's even born. The procedure halts its development. But even at 28 weeks, its sensory
So,
systems have matured to process external stimuli. It is more than capable
Death
of
Stranding
encoding
didn't
this
really
information
bomb.
into memories.
It got made fun of a lot, and in terms of its popularity, I think it was way below what people expected it to be. However, Kojima stated in May of 2020 that the game had sold enough to recoup the development costs and turn a profit, securing funding for Kojima Productions' next project. That was in May of 2020. And,
We may use them, but we don't truly understand them.
in April of 2021, publisher 505 Games' parent organization Digital Bros announced that the PC release had generated $27 million in revenue. So when Kojima was just talking in May of 2020, this is before the PC release had ever come out.
Huh.
So that's an additional $27 million, which was all profit. And
so is Razor Fist just talking out of his ass when he says this game was a colossal bomb?
Well, hold on, I'll get that in a second. By October 2021, the PC release had increased its revenues from, in April it was 23 million euros, and because I don't know what the calculation would be because I don't know what the transfer rate was in October 2021. But 23 million euros in April, then in October the same year it was 31 million euros, so it made 8 million euros more. When Razor Fist says this was a bomb, again, it's all related to expectations. People thought this was going to be huge, in the hundreds of millions. It probably hasn't even reached $50 million in lifetime profits, because as of July of 2021, the game has sold 5 million copies worldwide across all platforms. So while that was 2 years ago, I don't think a lot of people have been buying the game a ton since. And again, it was expected in the hundreds of millions in terms of profit. And that just didn't happen. So the game was profitable, but it was profitable in the same way that a lot of really crappy Hollywood movies are profitable, where they have a low budget and they just bank on making enough to make their budget back and then to have a tidy profit on top. And a profit of, 30 or 40 million dollars, that's nothing to sneeze at by any stretch of the imagination, especially for an independent studio. However, the point is that it was way below expectations. And then think about the Monster Energy thing as a result. They probably had to pay out a pretty penny of that same profit that they made to guys like Monster Energy and all that for their profits and everything. That's the whole reason the director's cut doesn't have it, is because they didn't have enough money to renew the license. So you got to keep in mind that this is Kojima's first product that his independently owned private company has made. So this was him basically putting his reputation on the line. So in terms of things that would reflect negatively on the game, he probably wants to keep that as quiet as possible.
Yeah. I mean, you won't really agree with this because you didn't like this game at all. But I think we're kind of getting to a point now where things in media, like in certain cases, the profitability doesn't really matter that much, and people just need to decide, is the thing good enough to warrant existing? And if the answer is yes, they just make it. Like, the example I want to use, Killers of the Flower Moon, that movie, the trailer I showed you the other day. That movie cost about $200 million to make. There's no way it makes money. There's just no way. It's rated R. The movie is 3.5 hours long, so that means fewer show times per day. Like, that movie is going to get destroyed. And everybody knows it. Like, The Irishman made $8 million at the box office on a $200 million budget. Like, there's just no way Killers of the Flower Moon doesn't lose at least $100 million. And I think they're okay with that because they're like, this movie deserves to exist. We want to see this movie exist, even though, yeah, it's not going to make money, but we feel like that's okay. You know?
That's actually a pretty good comparison to bring up, because there are people who consider Kojima to be the Scorsese of the video game world. Now, you and I both know that Scorsese is obviously way more talented than Kojima is. The point is, Scorsese is being given carte blanche to do whatever the fuck he wants because people know, exactly like you said, it's a movie that deserves to exist. So, like, who cares about how much money this fucking thing's going to make? This is going to be a good movie. It deserves to exist.
Yeah.
Like, and people are willing to give Kojima the benefit of the doubt because they're going off of how good Metal Gear Solid was, but they're quickly realizing this is a George Lucas kind of situation. I don't think he's ever going to get a product tie-in license like Monster Energy and Death Stranding. I don't think he's ever going to get that again.
Yeah, probably not.
So, the publisher, I mean, I don't think they're losing money by pushing his stuff, but they're definitely going to sit there and be like, yeah, we don't care what he comes at us with, you know, whatever. But it's going to be the investors he's going to have to look out for.
Yeah. Like actually, Casino lost money. Or, well, okay, I should take that back. It was not profitable, really, Casino. But that movie deserves to exist. And I don't think anybody at the studio is like, oh man, I can't believe we bankrolled that fucking Scorsese movie. That was a terrible idea.
Almost there.
Damn.
There we go. There we go.
I mean, maybe Kojima is the Scorsese of video games, but that, like, who's he competing with? Who else is trying to make games like the way that he is? Like he's basically competing with himself. Like, everyone else is just trying to make games that are fun for the most part, and he's trying to make games like this.
Well, no, you should. What you should have said is everyone else is trying to make games and make money.
Oh, right, Ken Levine. That's a good one, Santi. I forgot about him. Ken Levine. That's actually a really good point.
I don't think you can really compare the two. BioShock's fun.
Well, Metal Gear's fun, too. Let's, understand that. Death Stranding could end up being the misfire. Like, Death Stranding could end up being like, what did Francis Ford Coppola make? Jack? That movie that sucked? What was it called? Simple Jack or whatever?
Didn't he make that one horrible Caligula movie with Malcolm McDowell or whatever?
That might be it, yeah.
I'm just fucking kidding. I just wanted to bring that one up.
Yeah, like, who knows? Maybe Death Stranding 2 will be really good.
Who actually made that one? That was Tinto Brass, Giancarlo Louis, and Bob Julione. All directed. Malcolm McDowell wrote the fucking screenplay. Yeah, I never fucking have him again. And Gore Vidal. About that. But anyway, let's see here. Francis Scott Key, that's who you said, right?
Oh, no, I did not, Santi. I should do that real quick here. So, Santi linked me to this clip last night. Hold on. Let me find it. Took me a second to figure it out, too.
About the film's reception, Francis Ford Coppola said, "Jack was a movie that everybody hated, and I was constantly damned and ridiculed for. I must say I find Jack sweet and amusing. I don't dislike it as much as everyone, but that's obvious. I directed it. I know I should be ashamed of it, but I'm not. I don't know why everybody hated it so much. I think it was because of the type of movie it was. It was considered that I had made Apocalypse Now, and I'm like a Marty Scorsese type of director, and here I am making this dumb Disney film with Robin Williams. I was always happy to do any type of film."
Delivery.
So yes, in this movie, Jack, Robin Williams plays the lead role, who is a 10-year-old boy who ages 4 times faster than normal. Wow. Man, what a cast. Listen to this. Robin Williams, Diane Lane, Jennifer Lopez, Bill Cosby, Fran Drescher, Michael McKean.
Got some chiral crystals for us? These crystals only form in places with elevated chiral.
Not bad.
Which makes me wonder if expanding the network had something to do with it.
Yes, and it was considered the second worst film to come out in 1996, just barely lost Worst Picture at the 1996 Razzies to Striptease with Demi Moore.
I remember that one. Right.
Excess chiral crystals can be deposited.
Wow, Striptease was actually nominated for Worst Picture of the Decade in 1999.
These local stores include materials
Didn't win, but goddamn.
What won?
Let me see here.
Good work, Sam. It seems your connection level is increasing. As your connection level increases, larger quantities of resources will be made available to you at our facilities.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Worst of the Decade was Showgirls.
Oh, okay. I know that one.
You see, Robo Batman Cop Showgirls. Yes, because you see, Batman, he's now black. They used a normal guy with black parts. and he's Robo Batman. That's why I traveled to New York to become a beautiful actress. And Batman. I'm Batman. Good shit. They also did Worst Actor of the Century.
O'Neal?
As a category. No, Sylvester Stallone won it for 99.5% of everything he's ever done. The others who were nominated were Kevin Costner, Prince, William Shatner, and Pauly Shore.
I mean, I get that Stallone has been in a lot of really bad movies, but God, that doesn't feel right.
Yeah, calling it the worst actor of the century is that's literally just memeing for the sake of it, because it's like you literally don't even have somebody here who made a movie before the 70s. What the fuck? And it's the same with Worst Actress of the Century. You had Madonna won it. Also nominated was Elizabeth Berkley for Showgirls, which won Worst Picture of the Decade. They also had Bo Derek, Brooke Shields, and Pia Zadora. And again, I'm sitting here like you still don't have anyone who's made a movie before the fucking 70s. Like,
I think the worst actor / actress ever might be Sofia Coppola, because she ruined a movie that I think would have been good. Like, genuinely. At least a decent movie.
Chiral density is still within an acceptable range. If you find any more, be sure to collect it. You'll be well rewarded. If you come into more
well, she was nominated for Worst New Star of the Decade in the 1990s. Pauly Shore won it, but also nominated was Elizabeth Berkley again. Ahmed Best, who played Jar Jar.
Oh,
Dennis,
come on.
yeah, Dennis Rodman, and of course Sofia Coppola. Of course, the movie that she ruined, that you're talking about, was The Phantom Menace, right?
Yeah, that would have been fun.
Wait a minute. They, on this article, they have it Sofia Coppola for The Godfather 3 and Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. But then you go to Sofia Coppola's page and she doesn't have a credit as being in The Phantom Menace.
I mean, if she was probably one of the handmaidens who was in the movie for 2 seconds, but...
Oh, no, here we go. I'm sorry. I was looking at the wrong thing. It's got her listed in her filmography first. It has her listed as director, writer, producer.
Yeah.
It goes to her filmography first. Then, very strange that they do it like this, but the acting roles is in the second half. So, yes, she was in The Phantom Menace. She played a character called Sachet, who was
must be one of the Queen's handmaidens.
Yes, that was the Queen's decoy when they used yeah, they had Sofia Coppola played one of the handmaidens who would serve as the decoy, and for some of those parts. For other parts, they had Keira Knightley.
Right. I think Rose Byrne might have played one. I can't remember for sure, though. She might have been in Attack of the Clones.
So yeah, like I said, she definitely ruined Episode 1.
What do you mean you failed her? Isn't this your job, to get killed in her place? I think you did your job great. Nice death scene. Okay, can I climb up a rope? I think I can.
You should be able to, yeah.
Okay. Thank you to whoever left this here. Maybe it was me, I don't remember.
Remember, Sam, before you approach the mule drop site, we recommend you use a watchtower to confirm the location of the post box containing our cargo. Drop sites are rarely deserted, so remaining undetected is key. Keep a low profile and move slowly to minimize noise.
wonder if the Razzies have ever said what they think the worst movie ever made is. Like, do they have, like,
What?
end all be all, whatever the Razzies considered to be the worst movie ever?
I have no idea. I was just looking this stuff up on Wikipedia.
Yeah. I know last year they had one award was, like, worst Bruce Willis movie of 2022 because he was in, like, 8 movies and they all sucked. But then they rescinded the award when they found out that the reason why his acting sucked and his movies sucked was probably because of, you know, The Thing. Which
Yeah.
I think is a pretty reasonable thing to do. Okay, what am I supposed to do here? Chiral printer interface. Okay, like...
Hey, you!
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know I was gonna aggro people.
Find somewhere to pull up. Look around.
Nuh-uh.
Trust your instincts.
No, I'm gonna kick this guy's ass.
Just don't kill him.
No, pussy. I'll kill whoever I want to.
No, I mean if you kill him and turn him into a corpse, it will detonate with the force of a nuclear bomb. Remember?
Oh yeah.
That's how this weirdo game works. But what you do need to do, because they're unconscious, is you do need to tie them up and then pull their pants down. Dwight Howard style.
Oh yeah, I sent you a YouTube clip when you get a second in DMs.
Been busy?
Was it I want that juicy shack meat?
In your vicinity have
Yes.
been incapacitated.
I watched it, yeah.
Yeah. Took me a second to figure it out what the point was, but he looks like Urkel, don't he?
Shack?
No. Okay. Okay, what am I supposed to do here? Okay, so I'm at the post box. Do I put this... Okay. Oh! I have to take their shit. Okay, I'm gonna have to get rid of some shit here. Okay. I need to think about how I'm going to do this. Alright, hopefully I can make that work, I guess.
When you click on attach to suit, it attaches some of the boxes to your arms and legs so that you have less on your back.
Okay. Oh, I can't tie them up once they're unconscious? Okay.
Oh no, that thing right there, using strands to ready and bind them and all that kind of shit. It's essentially a parry system where when they come run up to you to punch you, you use that to essentially hit them with a counter right away that ties them up, so that you don't have to deal with them.
All right.
See how it says you can also use strands to avoid melee attacks, but your timing has to be just right. And you can also use it to pull off what are essentially stealth kills, where you just sneak up behind a guy and then tie him up from behind.
Okay.
So yeah, that's going to be the vast majority of your combat, until you get far enough to where you actually unlock guns that actually have lethal ammunition, and you just stop giving a shit and say, fuck it, I'll completely happily kill these people. What I used to do is I liked tying people up and then carrying them to all get them into a big location together. I would just straight up execute all of them and just like go down the row and just like headshot all of them, and then like
And you get the hell out of there before the explosion.
yeah, but it was great. Or what's even better is to just like play fucking Russian roulette and just cap one of them, because then the rest of them are all tied up and then just like right next to the thing and nothing they could do.
Did they start like freaking out or something?
I can't remember, but I like to imagine that they did.
Remember when I thought it was the coolest thing ever in Metal Gear Solid 2, how you could point a gun at a surrendering guard's dick, and then they would like start freaking out? Like, I was like, wow, video games have come a long way.
Yeah, because you know, if you point a loaded gun at someone's dick in real life, they have a similar reaction.
Kick that. So, like I said earlier, I was rewatching Hacksaw Ridge today. It's actually, like, kind of difficult for me to take any movie that has Vincent Vaughn in it as seriously as I'm supposed to. Because I just so associate him as some dumbass in bad movies for some reason. Because for a long time, that's all he did, it felt like. So to see him just play a role completely straight, it's tough. There's an adjustment period.
Shame we gotta deal with their bullshit at all. Back in the day, AI did everything. Deliveries were handled by unmanned vehicles and drones. And all we had to do was sit back and let them work.
And he's not a bad actor at all. Like, he was in Jurassic Park 2. He's done more serious roles than I give him credit for.
People didn't like it when we took the human element out of the service.
So you should give him credit.
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I just look at him and I see the doofus from Wedding Crashers, or whatever it was called.
Yeah, it was called Wedding Crashers. Well, you know what else you could do is hate Owen Wilson instead, because it's his fault.
Jackal's always on the lookout for the next border. Make sure you're not him.
Scanning Bridges ID.
Ow.
Verifying ID.
So my foot's broken.
Excuse me?
Bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear.
I made my foot crack, and I was like, no, it's broken now.
Well, that's a hell of a thing.
Because it's not supposed to hang off at a 45-degree angle, right?
Oh, boy.
What the hell am I even supposed to do then? You won't let me catch Pokemon, so what am I supposed to do? Bastards.
What are you doing?
Play Pokemon.
Which one?
Omega Ruby.
I don't think I ever played that one.
Because I don't have a Switch, so I'm playing this on my 3DS, which was far superior. I miss actually having, like, a Nintendo cared about handhelds. Fuck the Switch.
Get that chiral printer and
Rotten bastards.
But trust me, it'll be worth it.
3.
Excellent. The unit doesn't have a scratch on it. Never doubted you'd come through for us.
Okay, no problem. I just still have this irrational loyalty to the original 150 Pokemon. The ones after just turn me off.
Nothing ruins your day like shoes falling apart while you're on the job. Carry on like
The originals didn't have enough frog type things.
arrange for boots to be added to your supplies. Bridges stand
Do they put chemicals in the water that turn the mudkips gay?
You should always carry
Yes.
a pair. But if you forget or run into trouble, you can fabricate another via a terminal at one of our many facilities.
May I please have a water?
See you around.
Congratulations, Sam. I understand you now have access to a chiral printer. An extraordinarily useful device that can only function because of the manner in which our network utilizes the beach, enabling us to transfer massive volumes of data instantaneously. Since under normal circumstances, such transfers would take hours, if not days, some have speculated that the chiral network might, in essence, be a time machine. That it is transmitting data into the past. Suffice it to say, we have yet to fully grasp the fundamental nature of the network and the beach which we have.
I like how everything in this game is like, we don't know how it works, but we're just going to completely base our society on it.
Quite. Is it dangerous?
Like, everything is just like, we don't understand how this works, but we're going to build our entire society around it anyway.
As the BTs are linked to the beach, it stands to reason that
Yeah, big country, it sucks, but I'm not gonna...
the same can be said regarding you, of course.
Shit happens. That's really all I can say about it.
Keep you apprised of what I learn. You have my word.
It sucks, but, you know, Amari Stoudemire did that one time.
Bunch of fire extinguisher.
One of the players on the Mariner struck out and kicked a water cooler over and broke his foot.
That's pretty good.
Whoa, that guy looks exactly... Whoa, is that guy supposed to be Stalin? That guy's like a dead ringer for Stalin. Wow, that looks like the Command and Conquer version of Stalin on the right of the screen.
Wasn't the Command and Conquer version of Stalin Tim Curry?
Well, I don't mean like literally, but that look at this guy. I don't know if you can see him on screen right now.
Yeah, I saw.
Is that like either he's Stalin or he's cosplaying as Stalin?
Quit Stalin and show us your marks. Do I cruise, Jeff?
I'm not sure, Big Country, but I remember the Steve Kerr clip where he destroyed a clipboard in a violent rage. That was pretty funny.
We've added a bridge schematic.
How long do you think Steve Kerr has a job after Steph Curry either leaves the Warriors or retires, however he ends up
I think
leaving the
Kerr
Warriors?
just retires at that point. I think Kerr is just like, I'm going back into TV.
Bridge, you know.
Yeah, I think the same. He's not going to risk it.
Yeah.
Because, like, look at Doc Rivers. If Doc Rivers just straight up retired from coaching, which wouldn't have been the worst decision in the world in the grand scheme of things, you know, it wouldn't have really taken people that by surprise, because he'd been coaching for over 10 years by that point. If he just retired after the KG Paul Pierce trade, his legacy would be way better than if he kept going.
Right. Pretty much everybody would just think he must be a good coach.
Order assigned.
We're issuing you a maser gun.
Ooh,
This
I got a gun.
close-range, non-lethal weapon incapacitates hostiles with a powerful electrical burst. Bear in mind that it requires battery power to function. You should visit the firing range to familiarize yourself with it. Use the terminal to head to the range whenever you like.
Order assigned.
Larry Bird got into a bar fight one time and broke his hand, which actually kind of ruined the Celtics playoff run. I remember reading about that. A ranked event? What is this, a fucking gotcha game? Event available from 7/17. No, that started 4 days ago. Don't tell me we just... Whatever. I'm not doing that anyway. What do I care about your bullshit?
Begin scan. Have a pleasant journey.
Okay, Sam. Make your way to the designated construction area for the bridge. The foundation should already be in place. With your help, we'll have the thing finished in no time. There should be a terminal nearby. Access it to submit additional materials.
Restrictions lifted.
Sam, looks like you found the site. There should be a terminal nearby. Access it to submit additional materials.
Crap. Oh, shit. No, come back here. God damn it, I didn't know that was going to happen. Man, this game's physics engine is actually really impressive.
What happened?
I ran into a thing that was like taller than me, but not by that much, like a low ceiling, and it knocked off my stuff.
Oh, cool. Gotta watch the replay. Oh yeah. Cool. Oh no. Watching the video clip and then returning to the stream made the ads run again. Whopper, 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 Whopper.
Junior, double, triple, Whopper.
I was listening to some Reddit stories on YouTube because there's a lot of YouTube channels where people just read out Reddit posts for
I've
some
seen those.
reason.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah. While I was working, I was just listening to those because sometimes it's just funny to listen to the stuff or entertaining or whatever. It just takes your mind off crap. So I'm cleaning. But on my phone, I don't have ad block. So these YouTube ads can pop up in the middle of the video while I'm listening.
Right.
So it was like, talk about your first sexual experience. So this one person decided to be a huge downer and started talking about the time they were molested. So, like the fucking story goes, they're all like, and then one day I came home from school and when I opened my bedroom door, my uncle was there naked with a heart on. And then an ad starts going and right away it was the fucking Burger King Whopper commercial. It's like, and then my uncle's there with a heart on. Whopper, 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 Whopper.
For a lot of people. You can be sure that
And I was fucking dying.
keep an eye out for other spots that could do with another well-placed bridge.
I was like, Jesus Christ. Some ads just shouldn't. Fuck.
That's fucking good. I guess that's kind of like the, it's like an extreme version of what that Blazers fan was talking about. He was watching ESPN the day Dame officially requested a trade. I was like crying and like filming himself watching ESPN, and then it cuts to commercial.
He was that Blazers fan. It was the first time that Greg Oden injured his fucking shit and was out for a season. He was crying and then Whopper, Whopper.
Once again, reports from the Boston area hospital are that Len Bias has passed away. Stay tuned after these messages. We'll be right back. I wonder if somebody on YouTube has done like an edit of the Whopper commercial right after, like during like the coverage of 9/11.
What about when fucking Howard Cowsell is breaking the news that John Lennon's been shot during the fucking Dolphins game?
Yeah.
Whopper, Whopper.
Oh god, I have to climb up that high? Okay, how full is my bladder? Pretty full, but I don't think we're gonna do it yet. No. I can get that bladder fuller. I know I can. There's 1,000 other people in the world right now playing this game. That's very surprising to me, Santi.
Oh yeah, I have to check that. It'd be Steam charts. Death Stranding. Thanks for reminding me. Okay, there's 177 people playing Death Stranding on Steam an hour ago. 24-hour peak is 285. All-time peak ever was 32,000 people playing it once.
Obviously, that's just on Steam. I'm sure a lot of people play on console, but yeah.
The skin of my teeth. There we go.
Yeah, sometimes I see those Reddit stories on
Safe travels.
Facebook. It'll be just some dude running around playing Minecraft while a text-to-speech program reads out some story from Reddit. I don't really get it, but the stories can be interesting from time to time.
Too close.
What is this? What is this build?
Just so you know, Sam, distro centers and the like are stocked with materials you can use to fabricate equipment. You can also take what you need to build structures. That said, there are limits to what each facility can spare. Check their terminals to see what they are.
We have to say it. Remember, this is just a football game, no matter who wins or loses. An unspeakable tragedy, confirmed to us by ABC News in New York City. John Lennon, outside of his apartment building in New York City, shot dead.
Honestly, it kind of sounds like you're doing a really bad... It sounds like you're doing a really bad Don Corleone impression more than as much as Howard Cosell.
Alright, let me fucking try that then.
An unspeakable tragedy, confirmed in our booth. John Lennon, the most famous Beatle in the world, shot dead outside his apartment building in New York City. Whopper!
Try to do the Marlon Brando Whopper. You choke.
Whopper, Whopper.
It's just too difficult to do in the fucking cage.
Yeah. You will never know the experience of watching a basketball game, seeing your favorite player brick 3 straight game-winning shots to blow the game, and then it cuts to Whopper, 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 Whopper.
A second Tesla has just flown into the World Trade Center. Whopper, Whopper. Fuck. Whew. That's the good stuff.
Sam, you should be coming up on that cargo. And a boatload of mules, no doubt. Stay out of sight and try not to make too much noise if they're within earshot. We don't want this going sideways.
Odd. Damn it. I'm carrying way too much shit.
Oh, also another reason that this game didn't do too well is when the game came out, there was a mixed reception, but there was still a lot of interest in the game. The thing is that because people didn't fawn over it immediately and talked about how boring the game was, Kojima's immediate reaction was to insult Americans. And he said, American audiences are just too stupid to understand the intricate plot details involved in my game, and they're very violent, barbaric people who just want to constantly shoot people. So with my focus on a non-lethal combat style and gameplay loop that is not just constantly about killing people, their tiny American brains just weren't able to cope. He said that like the week after the game came out, so
Okay.
that definitely contributed to the game not doing well, as well as people thought it would. Because like imagine if when Metal Gear Solid came out, like imagine if it was slow to start, and then Kojima said, Americans are just stupid, you know, they just want more siphon filter instead of Metal Gear. Like, come on, dude. It was fun.
Okay, this was actually not the place that I should be going to. Because this is where I have to pick shit up. I thought this was going to be where I could drop shit off. So... maybe... I should go try to make a delivery instead. Yeah, this is a delivery. Shit. Okay, well this is gonna take fucking forever, but... Oh god.
Seriously?
EV, calm down, dude. It's not that big of a deal. You're fine.
I shake him.
There you go. Can I pee on the BB pod?
Asking the real questions. I think the best-selling DLC on the market the year that the game came out is there's an emote you can purchase that's yet another real-world tie-in. Death Stranding. It's a Rob Gronkowski tie-in where you pick up BB and, well, I'm sure you can imagine.
Oh god. Why would you say something like that?
You're gonna get in trouble again.
Alright, we're making this game as hard as humanly possible. Look at the size of my load. I'm just gonna sail it down this mountain.
Someone needs to clip him just saying, look at the size of my load.
Oh my god! Norman Reedus is a superhero, dude. How did he do that?
I'm watching right now. This is amazing.
Oh! Oh!
It's like you're skiing.
This looks like a scene from a fucking Looney Tunes cartoon.
That's all, folks.
God, I got so long to go unload my load. Oh, no. No, can't do that. Too much weight.
Optimizing your load.
Oh, it's destroyed anyway, so...
I had a nickel for every time I've read an article about that.
Alright. I really wish I realized I shouldn't go that way before I actually went that way. How do I drink out of my canteen? Aha, there we go. Ever play a video game that makes you think, like, I could be beating off right now? God damn it! Okay, good.
Keep it together.
Man, my boots are almost busted.
Oh yeah, I forgot that you could equip boots too. Well, it's your own fault for not being a real hobo and just going barefoot.
I wonder if you can do that.
Yes. Although, if I remember right, Norman Reedus complains a lot. He's like, "Oh God, my feet hurt so much. Oh please, God, make it better." And then if you pee and then you start wandering around the puddle,
He's like, oh god, it's in my wounds! And then you actually start losing health because of infection.
Phenomenal. Oh, nice. That barely weighs anything. Hey, is this the one? I'm not sure.
Skin my teeth.
Oops. Don't you hate when you're trying to catch a Pokemon and you accidentally critically hit it and kill it in one hit?
No, it satisfies my bloodlust.
Blood for the blood god. 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 Blood.
Too close.
Blood for the blood god. Skulls for the skull throne.
Nice. Come on. Keep it together.
Okay, almost to the post box. Hopefully we can offload at least a little bit of our load here. Honestly, I kind of want to keep my load as high as possible at all times to make the game more challenging. I feel like that's actually probably the best way to make this an engaging experience and an engaging stream.
Well, it also makes you slower.
Yeah, but it makes the game hard. Like, if you're just walking from place to place with a light load, I feel like the game is trivial.
It's actually harder because then you get less rewards for having smaller delivery loads.
Okay, that helps a little bit. My boots are about to wear straight through, man.
Structure upgraded.
All right. Okay. So that's going to help significantly. This guy, what? Okay, I don't know what the hell that was all about. Oh, I just realized it's really windy. That's why I keep leaning that way. I have a strong right lean right now. Okay. Okay. That helps. So basically right now I just have to hold down L2 because of the wind. Interesting. You know, this game's kind of... I think one thing that I'm having an issue with is it kind of makes me think of Shadow of the Colossus, which is a game that I didn't like that much. And I think this game has a similar problem.
Well, the thing with Shadow of the Colossus, and the reason it's been so fucking popular that it's had remakes on the PS3, PS4, and PS5, is that it had an extraordinary visual spectacle while you travel to the boss fight, which is very reminiscent of this game. So I see the comparison, because the visual aesthetic spectacle is all you really have in Death Stranding. The difference between Death Stranding and Shadow of the Colossus is that at the end of that journey to get to the boss, you would then have an actual boss fight. It would actually create a gameplay experience for you. That does not happen in Death Stranding. You just don't have it.
Okay, guys, I will be right back. Give me a few minutes. Okay, we are back. Welcome back, everybody. You a Jewish fella? Would you like to be? Don't worry about the operation. We don't do that no more. Freeze it. So like I said, I was watching the Irishman yesterday, and it kind of got me thinking, you know, it's too bad that Richard Nixon was crazy, because he wasn't that bad as far as, when you consider that most U.S. presidents historically have been bad, he wasn't that bad. It's too bad, you know?
No, Nixon was phenomenal, and also he was actually not crazy, because he was completely correct about everything that he fucking said.
Okay, crazy. Paranoid.
I do not at all blame him for being paranoid, because again, he was completely correct about literally everything. He was completely correct.
Well, he was going to win that election in a landslide regardless, and he should have known that. He did not need...
Well, yeah, he didn't order his boys to do that. He covered for them after they'd already done it of their own volition, because they were worried he was going to lose.
That's a good point.
That was the mistake he made, is he was like, ah, fuck, well, okay, you know, there's no sense crying over spilled milk. It's already done. We can't stop that from happening. I'll just try to make this go away. That was the mistake that he made. He should have just said, I didn't tell you guys to do this. You're on your own. Like, no, I really do appreciate your loyalty. So that being the case, after you go through the fucking legal process, you know, I'll commute your sentence. But you're not getting a pardon, and you're gonna have to fucking fall on your own sword on this one, because I didn't tell you to do that shit. I mean, hindsight's 20/20. This... Typically in politics, you want to take care of your own people, especially the guys that do dirty work for you, so hanging them out to dry wouldn't have been seen as the right call at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, as far as U.S. presidents go, he was good. He was pretty good. Better than most of them.
He was one of the most highly competent that we've ever had. LBJ was very fucking awful, because he wanted to do the wrong things. However, he was also highly competent. LBJ is probably the hardest working president that we've ever had. It's just a shame that he wanted to do a bunch of really fucked up shit. Because if it wasn't for that, he deserved to be the fifth face on Rushmore more than anybody I could fucking think of. The guy slept like 3 hours a day, pretty much. Like, hardest working president we have ever had. Like, the only one who's worked even remotely in the same league as hard as Trump.
I can see that. I never liked him, though, of course. You're right about that. Obviously.
Yeah, because, I mean, he was an intense racist to the point where LBJ, there's no question he was a member of the Ku Klux Klan. Like, when you read stuff, especially the JFK files, which, by the way, Biden reclassified, so that was hilarious. But, back when they were actually unclassified and available to the public, there was a lot of discussion about how KKK was in the White House. This is during the 60s. So it's like, well, there had been rumors for decades that LBJ was in the Klan, and that kind of confirmed it. Because he took all the evidence of people saying that he was in the Klan, and then he tossed it into JFK files, which were never going to see the light of day.
You're clear of BG territory. The Death Stranding's to blame for all of this. The gazers, the fall of America, everything. It warped the world beyond recognition. Humanity had to scramble like rats fleeing a sinking ship. But there's nowhere else to go. There's no future living like this. If we're to
I do
survive,
wonder if it wasn't for the whole Watergate thing, how would that have changed the timeline? Because Ford obviously never becomes president. I don't think Carter does. Like, God, that would be such a different timeline. Probably a better one, too.
Yeah, a lot of the shit that we had of the 70s wouldn't have happened. However, in terms of Nixon making a huge impact, he didn't really have that much time left overall by the time he left office. So
Yeah, but he
I don't
probably
think he
gets to handpick a successor, basically, because he'll be popular by the end of his tenure.
Yeah, so I don't think he overly would have made much more of an impact than he already had. Probably just more bringing us closer to the end of the Cold War kind of thing. But not moving the needle too overly much. It's just you're right that we would have dodged the absolute shit show that was Carter. Which is pretty important to think about because that was, at the time that it happened, it was basically the worst economic crisis the United States had undergone since the end of World War II. Pretty much since the Great Depression.
Just something that I was pondering about last night.
Dodging that would have been nice. But at the same time, you know, if the same shitheels end up getting into politics and taking office and doing the same shit that they ended up doing in our regular timeline, it wouldn't have made that much of a difference.
Other places too, if it works. Here's hoping the UCA can put our electricity to good use.
I'm just sad, man. It's hard not to be.
How'd you get this here? You fly? All we need now is a connection to the chiral network. Go for it.
Network bandwidth is a limited resource, and every structure you build consumes it. However, as you increase your connection level, the bandwidth available
The implication that America is about, I don't know, fucking 10 miles across in this game.
Basically, yeah.
Don't get me wrong, it's better than them making you literally walk for 8 years to get from one side of America to the other side, but it's pretty funny.
Well, I gotta catch this fucking guy. You kidding me?
About time we
What are the odds of that?
Thanks again. You know,
This Poochiana has thunder fangs somehow.
makes what you're doing all the more incredible.
Fucking rock on,
You're a
buddy.
one-man expedition. I hope Amelie's doing as well as you. Wonder if she made
Would you
it
be
to
able to
Edgemont
get away
City
with
yet.
playing your Game Boy at
It was
work,
her
or
that
would
put us in
that
charge of the
cross the
wind farm.
line?
I was with the group bringing up the rear while Amelie led. I've never met her in person.
Depends on the circumstances, because, like,
You're all the same. When you see her,
I have an employee who shows up about halfway through my shift who is a huge bitch and hates that I do my homework because what she sees me doing is sitting down at the register and being on my phone, and she's like, I wish I could do that shit, and I fucking hate it. So she would be very mad if she saw me doing this. However, I know from what my boss has said, along with having done this job for fucking years, that before she shows up, if I was just fucking around at work like that, no one would have a fucking problem. No one would complain. Because who the fuck cares? And I'm sitting here and I'm like, you know why I'm on this shift? Is because no one else wants to be here at midnight.
All that's left is Port Knot City. Return to Capital Knot City.
And with all the fucking crackheads, like,
By the time you arrive,
go ahead, bitch to me, all you want. I don't fucking care.
One other thing. It's not very often porters get out to that wind farm. While you're there, you should pick up any outstanding orders. No sense coming all the way back here empty-handed if there's work to be done. Have a look at that delivery terminal.
Good work. New order available. Please access delivery terminal for further information.
Oh, the game is telling me to stop playing it. If Sam is sleeping, it might be time for you to take a break as well. Eat my ass. How about you eat my ass, game?
Alright. No rest for the wicked. Okay.
Let's lighten the load just a little bit.
Delivering cargo.
Finally, after so many fucking years of waiting, Season 2 of Invincible comes out in November.
Still a ways away.
Yeah.
By handing over excess materials. Now these materials, just
But
don't get careful.
Invincible first came out, like, the whole fucking thing came out so that you could just, like, watch it all immediately. Came out in March of 2021.
Hey, great work. That wind farm you've brought into the by way of reward. Generators.
It is 975 days between March and November 1st. Or it's 2021-2023. Almost 1,000 days.
It's been 84 years.
It's been 84 days. Sounds pretty on brand to me.
Oh, you can... Okay, this is what you meant when you said you put stuff on your arms and legs to optimize the load. Okay.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, attached to the suit. So now you can fit even more shit on you. Because think about the humongous stack that you can have on your back. You can still have that much, but then you also have that stuff on your arms and legs.
Congrats, Sam. You're cleared to take
Oh,
on the
crap.
orders. While they're not as high, if you're already heading a certain way and you have room to spare, you could...
What do you think's gonna be better? A Pucciano with Thunderfang or a Pucciano with Firefang?
I would assume fire, but I don't know.
I'm gonna check some stuff.
That's a request
Would
for
help.
material transport. By helping the facility replenish
So both of them suck there, both of them suck there, both of them suck. Well, actually, Firefang would be good there. Both of them suck there, both of them suck there. Thunderfang's good there. Both of them suck there. Thunderfang is better, so. Now that I've seen that, what I would want to do is check the capture list in order and where we go. See if we get a thunder type or electric type first or a fire type first.
Oh, by the way, I meant to ask you the other day. I forgot. What is the name of the class that you're doing right now?
Now you need to keep in mind when I'm at Western Governors University, they have names for the classes and everything, but sometimes the class doesn't actually matter because what matters is the actual exam that you're taking. So to answer your question, the name of the class that I'm taking is called IT Foundations, but that doesn't matter because the course is literally just studying for the CompTIA A+ certification. That's the final exam. Passing that exam to get the certification is how you pass the class. So basically, it's CompTIA A+ is the class that I'm taking, but it's called IT Foundations because it's just the name of the course that they have in their university registry.
Okay.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
And I've been doing this since May. Like May 1st. So all of May, all of June, and almost all of July now, and I still don't feel fucking ready for that thing. This is the hardest class I've ever taken. Fuck.
I feel like you're at least headed in the right direction.
Yeah, but like, the term ends for me in October, and they're still expecting me to not just complete this class, but also to complete 2 others. And I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? This one's fucking beating my ass. Like, it sucks.
Oh, you can actually put a ladder down on the ground, so you can slowly but steadily make your way upwards. Interesting.
Yeah.
Today, Bobby Kennedy is just another attorney. Alright, let's see. Oh, music. I was kind of thinking to myself, you know, there hasn't been any music playing yet in this session. God. Look at this.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Keep on keeping on. Safe weapons detected. All weapons decontaminating suit. All clear. Well pleasant journey. Sam Porter Bridges.
Alright, let's see here. Okay, no problem. Yeah, I kind of stand by my original evaluation of this game. It's like Animal Crossing without the cutesiness.
Delivery's in damn fine shape.
I think there's actually that's actually a pretty decent comp.
See you around.
Good work. New order available. Please access delivery terminal for further information.
Okay, so let's fill our hands. All right.
Good morning, Sam.
I'm guessing it's not possible for me to like cut my hair at the sink or anything.
Oh.
All right, let's shit and piss. I like how there's an ad for an AMC show with Norman Reedus on it on the shower.
Yeah. Yeah,
That probably already got canceled.
yeah, fucking for sure. But it was a lot worse back in the day. They had that and Monster Energy and all kinds of like it was fucking bad.
As you may have surmised, this model was produced with various extracts refined from your fecal matter. We suspect that your regular consumption of cryptobiotes has led you to excrete certain compounds that may prove especially effective against BTs.
I'm getting my first poo grenade.
If you would like us to produce more, you need only furnish us with the requisite raw materials via your private rooms and toilet. I look forward to your feedback.
So you can pee out in the wilderness. I'm guessing you can't crap, though.
It'd be cool if you could, but yeah, no.
Like, you could crap with the horse in Metal Gear Solid 5, right?
Yes. You could command it to poop, and then it would create a slip and fall zone for the enemy.
Yeah.
Where if they drove over it with a vehicle that had wheels, it'd spin out.
God, that game was so good.
Yeah, the gameplay of 5 was extraordinary, and the story would have been great if they had the opportunity to actually finish it. But after playing Death Stranding, I realized that I don't need to hate on Konami as much as I did when Metal Gear Solid 5 first came out, being like, why would you rush him? Well, I mean, he had already massively exceeded his budget by like 3 times the amount of money they wanted to give him. And he nearly bankrupted the company when they made him vice president or whatever, and he was like making decisions and shit. He nearly bankrupted the company, so I don't blame Konami for what they did at all.
It's the push and pull of the studio versus the creator. You always need that push and pull.
Beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey.
Okay, let's take a look at this delivery I can do. Oh. This is pretty easy.
Order assigned. Beginning scan. Have a pleasant journey.
So Dwight Howard denied being gay in 2019.
I think he would be the first person to be playing in the NFL while out of the closet. This could be a monumental day in the history of sports.
And in 2019 he said, I'm not gay, but I understand why people hide that.
Again, if you trust it's the generator, why not give it a try?
That's one way to put it.
Because there were a lot of rumors that he was gay that had been swirling around. And he said the reaction people had at those rumors, which gave him new perspectives on himself and gay athletes, he says, I think that liberated me because I saw how a lot of people would feel, whether they're gay or they're straight, whether they have issues. People are afraid to be who they are. They're afraid to just step out and be.
because they're afraid to be who they are. They're afraid to just step out and be because they're afraid of what other people might say or think about them. The situation made me realize you're not like this, but just be you, be free. I'm not gay. It's a lot of people who are and they have to hide, and there's people who have mental issues and they have to hide. There's people who have different problems in life and they have to hide. They have to put on the mask every day, and it's like, I don't want to wear no mask, I just want to be. But, yeah. So yeah, you had another guy named Mason Elijah or whatever, who made accusations that various celebrities were in a same-sex relationship with him. The accusations turned out to be false, and Dwight Howard was one of the people he claimed to be in a homo-love relationship with.
Okay.
He said, I went through a situation last year that really just set me free. It ended up being a situation that went viral. People were talking about it, and it upset me because I didn't even know who the person was. Why would somebody who I never met, never had any contact with, make up a whole story about me? I saw all the hate, the pure hate from people I've never met before, just pile up everywhere I went. Elijah claimed in social media posts last fall that he had a sexual relationship with Howard and said Howard sexually harassed, threatened, and even plotted to kill Elijah if he talked about it publicly, releasing audio recordings of a man that he said was Howard. In March, Black Sports Online broke the news that Elijah was suing Howard in Georgia. He also claims Howard cheated on him by having a sexual relationship with a transgender woman. Some reports have incorrectly identified Elijah as trans. Howard countersued in April, and that basically ended it.
Okay,
As soon as he countersued for, the defamation and shit. And then he came out and said, he's like, wow, yeah, and everyone came out and said a bunch of nasty shit about me. I was like, yeah, I'm not gay, but I totally understand why people are in the closet. Holy fuck. So now you've got another guy who's like, Dwight Howard in a car part raped me. And Dwight's probably like, bro, I'm in Taiwan, like... Yeah, there's a new guy named Stephen Harper.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a lot of children with women, so it's hard for me to believe that he's possibly gay. I mean, that is a lot of sex that he's had,
Yes. And those are all his kids, they are all his fuck trophies. He's definitely banging those broads. The only thing you can say if he ends up that this is true is you just be like, well, he just likes to fuck, and he'll fuck anything, like anything with a pulse. But I mean, that doesn't mean he's gay, because of exactly what you're talking about. But it's all like, why is it these accusations keep coming up and it's always a civil suit for somebody trying to get money? Because this shit's breaking now, but it's like, dude, as soon as he countersues, this is all just gonna go away. Because he's just desperate for, like, he's hoping for the cash payout. The guy just has to be a little dingleberry, but like, come on now.
What if the guy sued him just for being gay? He was just like, oh no, I'm not saying he raped me or nothing. I'm just going to sue him because I think he's gay. And then just see what happens.
I don't know. Would it be hilarious just to win the case and be like, I don't want any money, I just want him to suck a dick on national television? God.
Yeah, this motorcycle ain't half bad. I'm not against this motorcycle. Oh. Well, I'm never having kids, that's for sure.
Beginning scan. Scanning bridges ID. Verifying ID. Clear. Weapons detected. All weapons will be locked until departure. Cargo verified. Thank you. delivering cargo.
Thank you, Sam. You always take such good care of our cargo.
Yeah, I played the first few Just Cause games, Big Country. They're pretty good.
All right.
Good work. New order available. Please access delivery terminal for further information.
86 kilograms. God damn. That's not happening at this point in time. Wait. Yeah, okay. I think that's a pretty fair way to put it.
Weapons restrictions lifted.
Oh, there's a speed boost. It's like Mario Kart. Whoa. Okay. Feel like I'm playing Mario Kart.
Now, the motorcycle's a lot of fun, but the truck's better because it gives you the opportunity to store the cargo inside the truck. So then you can not have the cargo on your person. So then instead you can keep weapons and equipment on your person. So the truck is basically like battle mode.
Okay, I may
The
die
motorcycle's
here.
just cool.
I don't know. Yes! Still alive, baby. Alright, hopefully there's a charging station around here somewhere. Taxes.
Battery's almost dead.
Safe travels.
Yeah. Okay, I don't see a charging station, so I may have to build one.
Verifying ID. Clear. Keep on keeping on. Not city. Proceed to distribution center.
Oh, maybe it's over there.
Sorry, Sam. I can't allow you to build a structure there. Pick a spot outside the sensor ring and try again.
Oh, eat my ass. Eat my ass.
Decontaminator. All clear. Good morning, Sam. Welcome, Sam Porter Bridges.
Sam.
Okay.
Thanks for the delivery. Cargo's in perfect condition.
Even with all the crap I did on the motorcycle, I thought it would be damaged at least a little bit. Nice. New interview data acquired, Egyptian mummies, pyramids, etc. Okay.
Oh, I was reading a thing the other day because we were talking about Troy earlier. You know the story of the Trojan War that was written down by Homer in the Iliad and all that?
Correct. Yeah.
Historians believe that this actually was not the Greeks. What it actually was is it was a civilization known as the Mycenaeans, who basically were Greeks. They were the predecessors to the Greeks. But you know what the Bronze Age collapse is?
No.
Well, during the Bronze Age, there were a number of different civilizations. The first civilizations that we have evidence of in recorded history that get discussed in the Bible and things like that. But actual recorded history all of a sudden just stops out of nowhere one day. And it's because of what's called the Bronze Age collapse. And it was brought about by a number of different factors, but essentially what you need to keep in mind is that all the different Bronze Age civilizations collapsed at the same time due to extraordinary calamity, which turned into them not being able to write down their history so that we have something to track. They just disappear, and then civilization is kind of put on hold for a few hundred years. And then business picks up again. And when business picks up again, it's the Greeks. Because before then, you had the ancient Egyptians, you know, and the time of Ramses and all that kind of shit. And this is why I said it's mentioned in the Bible, is because this is when the Egyptians were really fucking strong, during the days like Moses and shit.
This is what the world looked like.
Now, when the Bronze Age collapse occurred, Egypt was still around. They were just severely weakened. And they were weakened to such a point that no one really had time to be an historian to write down the history and talk about the things that had happened. What they did instead was say, all hands on deck, motherfucker. We need people to farm so that we can feed everybody. So, recorded history was basically put on hold until the Greeks came along as we know them today. And when they came along, the Mycenaeans, again, were their predecessors. And predecessors in the same sense of, like... Think about how the Romans were the predecessors to Italians. Like, you look at Italians throughout the last several centuries, and they're the same people as the Romans were, ethnically and geographically, but that's not the same culture. That's not the same civilization. But they still kind of are. They're in the same part of the world, and they got the same blood, and the language is extremely similar. They're not the same. So that's what you have between the Mycenaeans and the Greeks. So the belief is that the Trojan War is something that definitely happened. The ruins of Troy have been discovered. It was a real place. And the Trojan War is a thing that was considered to have happened. And the Mycenaeans were based in and around, they didn't call it this, but they were based in and around Sparta. So, in that way, it was sort of like a continuation of the Spartan concept and, blah, blah, blah. The Greeks had Homer change the Iliad as he was writing it. They changed them being the Mycenaeans, this legend that had been passed down throughout history. They said, you know what, why don't you say that it was us? Not the Mycenaeans, but it was the Greeks. So that way we have a continuation of history that we can keep track of and say, this was us.
Makes sense.
So yeah, that, dude, you really have to go if you have a liter of urine in your bladder. Holy shit.
Yeah, I was trying to get it up as high as I could to see what would happen.
Can you mentally envision in your head the size of a liter bottle of water?
Yeah, that's pretty
all of that in your bladder, it would burst. Like, I don't think your bladder can hold that much.
Okay, I think that's going to do it for tonight, though. Made some good progress.
What is the average bladder size for an adult male? The urinary bladder can store an average of 700 milliliters in men. It's like the max, so it's pretty impressive.
So this guy's got an above average bladder size.
And it is literally as full as it could possibly get. That is like excruciating pain levels if you have to pee. But yeah, so yeah, that's... In case you ever wanted to know for some strange reason. The Trojan War, as written in the Iliad, that was the Mycenaeans, not the Greeks. The Greeks just sort of co-opted it to be like, yeah, that was totally us. Look at the continuation of history.
Interesting.
Aren't we cool? The answer, of course, is no. No, you're not. As is tradition.
So yeah, it's like 12:30 now, so I'm going to go ahead and call it for the night. Thanks for hanging out. You're not working tomorrow, correct? So you'll be around late tomorrow as well.
Yeah, that's right.
So we should be able to have some fun.
I am intending to get drunk as fuck. Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever you do, well, today.
Unless you didn't want me to. Did you have plans, like there was something specific you wanted me to go for?
No, not really.
Now, the good news is a long-standing financial obligation that I've had has finally